In the small, quiet town of Brindleton Bay, there lived a mysterious woman who never seemed to age. She was always there, but no one ever truly noticed her. An ethereal figure in the background of life. Her eyes, captivating and otherworldly, shimmered with a depth that no one could understand, as if they saw beyond the veil of the world itself. She never spoke much, her presence always a calm, steady force in the lives of those around her. Her secret, however, was far more profound than anyone could imagine. The angel had been silently protecting the people of Brindleton Bay for as long as she could remember. Whenever danger lurked in the shadows, she was there. Whenever death threatened, she stood in its way, averting catastrophe with a grace that was both terrifying and beautiful. She never sought recognition for her acts. In fact, she preferred to remain invisible, working quietly behind the scenes, saving lives without a single word spoken. She was content with this existence, knowing that her purpose was to safeguard the innocent from the darkness that always seemed to be lurking just beyond their awareness. One fateful night, the town was plunged into chaos. Dark clouds rolled in, the skies crackling with unnatural energy. A figure appeared in the midst of the storm, tall, imposing, with an aura of mystery and danger. It was the devil, though no one recognized him for what he truly was. He was not the monstrous, fearsome being of myths, but rather a charming, handsome stranger who captivated the townsfolk with his magnetic presence. The angel watched from the shadows as the devil's influence spread across Brindleton Bay. His smile was both enticing and sinister, as he whispered promises of power and pleasure to those willing to listen. As much as she wished to remain hidden, she could feel her protective instincts rising. She knew that this man, despite his alluring exterior, was a harbinger of destruction. The town was at risk, and she couldn't let it fall into his grasp. Yet, as she watched him from afar, she couldn't shake the strange pull he had on her. There was something different about him, something that stirred a deep, forgotten feeling within her. It was a conflict she had never felt before. An angel, destined to fight against evil, now drawn to its very embodiment. Days turned into weeks, and the tension in the town grew. The devil's influence continued to spread, subtly at first, then more openly. The angel, unable to stay away any longer, decided to confront him. She followed him one evening, her eyes never leaving his every move. She watched him from a distance as he stood alone, looking at the sea, as if contemplating something far deeper than the world around him. When the time was right, she approached him. She knew better than to speak, for words would not be needed. The space between them was thick with a silent understanding. He knew who she was, just as she knew who he was. There was no need to announce it. His gaze met hers, and for the first time, she saw something in his eyes, a flicker of vulnerability. He did not seem like the devil she had imagined, not at this moment. Instead, he seemed like a lost soul, a being who had wandered too far from his original purpose. In the days that followed, the angel found herself unable to stay away from him. Each time she saw him, her resolve weakened. He would speak to her without words, through glances and small gestures that caused her heart to tremble in ways she had never felt before. She was an angel, sworn to protect the world from evil, yet she couldn't help but be drawn to him. He, too, seemed conflicted. There were moments when his gaze softened, when he would look at her with something akin to longing. Was he, too, feeling the pull of something forbidden? The battle between their natures was intense. He was the embodiment of temptation, chaos, and death, while she was a being of purity, light, and protection. But love, as she soon realized, had no regard for their roles. The town's fate was now in the balance. The angel knew that, despite everything, she had to stop the devil before he corrupted everyone around him. But every time she saw him, her heart betrayed her. She no longer wished to fight him, to push him away. She wanted to understand him, to know him, and to love him. In a final confrontation, the two stood at the edge of the town, the weight of the universe between them. The angel was torn, unsure of what her heart truly desired. To save the town, she would have to cast him away forever. But could she do that? Could she choose her mission over what had now become the greatest, most overwhelming emotion she had ever experienced? The devil, sensing her struggle, stepped closer. His presence was magnetic, and for the first time, the angel felt that the roles they had been given, protector and destroyer, no longer made sense. Perhaps they were meant for something else. With a single touch, he reached for her hand, and in that moment, the world seemed to stand still. The angel, unable to resist, allowed herself to feel the warmth of his hand, the connection between them undeniable. They stood together, no longer enemies, but two souls bound by a force greater than their origins. In the end, the angel made her choice. She embraced the devil, not as the enemy, but as a being worthy of love. The town, unaware of the shift in the balance, continued on with their lives. But in the quiet moments, when the winds whispered secrets to the stars, the angel and the devil shared their eternity, no longer defined by light or darkness, but by the love that defied all. They had fallen together into a world where their love could flourish. And in that fall, they found redemption, not just for themselves, but for each other.